Greetings. Welcome to Caribbean Vanguard. Happy holidays. Happy Christmas, Kwanzaa, New Year's, for everyone who is celebrating the holidays. Okay. I'm not here to be a Grinch. Believe it or not, I'm here to actually share some information that I think it's good to know, right? It's good to know, to be aware of, because again, the Caribbean Vanguard is about progress. It's about um, elevating and moving forward from where we are, and to be a more competitive force in this globe, right? So now I am one who try to stay very grounded when it comes to news pertaining to the Caribbean islands, as well as Africa, the motherland, basically globally, okay, Europe, the US, and as it pertains to Africans and everyone else. But of course, I put special emphasis to our situation that is unique, one that everyone shies away from, just about, especially us. Okay. So, with that, I've been paying attention to some of the different festivities that are happening throughout the Caribbean. As you know, there are some islands who celebrates Carnival, Saint Croix being one of them, Saint Kitts, Nevis being another, and I think there are some Bahamas islands as well who celebrate Carnival. Other people get together for family function and so forth. It's the end of the year. It's a special month of the year because it's closing out the current year and a new start. So people go into the new year with resolutions and so forth. So we enjoy having fun. We enjoy partaking in carnival activities. They have the children parade. They had calypso shows and soca competition and so forth. And I've been tuning into the festivity in St. Kitts. They have the 51 sugar mass. And so of course I tune in because I enjoy the art of music. I enjoy the raw talent that comes about from the Caribbean islands. Okay, and everyone having a wonderful time. So the carnival is happening there. If you want to have a good time, that's the place to go. Saint Kitts and Nevis, Saint Croix, and those places that are having big celebration. Okay, so as mentioned, the Caribbean is having this carnival. So during carnival, everyone come out and have a great time. The children come out and have a great time. The adults, the troops, school children, everyone is engaged throughout for carnival, right? There are juves, there are bacchanal, there are culturama. People are able to come out and sell food and all that type of good stuff, right? But one thing I feel that we don't look at a lot, because during these calypso competition and so forth, you would hear the calypsonians complain about the state of the country, right? The state of the country. But during these festivities, they also mention the sponsors. During Juve morning, you can see the trucks and stuff driving down the road, the band trucks, and a lot of time they would have their sponsors posted around their speakers, right? So while watching the calypso competition or one of on some of the other festivities, they listed off some of the sponsors. So they are platinum sponsors, they have gold sponsors, as well as silver sponsors. So I'm going to dig into the platinum sponsors a bit, only the platinum sponsors for the sake of time, right? But I will also, but however, I will mention the other sponsors. So for the platinum sponsors, you have the cable, CNW, you have Digicel, you have Zool Printer, Caribbean Galaxy, and Quartz Ready Cash. For gold sponsors, there is Republic Bank, St. Kitts Music Festival, and there is another one that I failed to write down. I don't know why I missed that. But for the silver sponsors, there is Carib Brewery, Royal St. Kitts Hotel, St. Kitts Marriott, and SL Stage Lightning. Those are the sponsors. Those are the people who um, invest into your um, carnival. And these people are not locals. They are investors, uh, big corporation, big banks, and they are from other countries, Europe, the US, as well as Asia. Okay. What does that mean? It means that these folks have a major influence on your culture. They have a major influence on the future of your country, what the country going to look like, and who's going to do business in your culture, in and also your politics. Okay. So with that, let us get into the platinum um, investors a bit. Let us get into these guys. All right, so the first business is the cable. The cable. Okay, one thing I want you to take notice of as I scroll down this page is the faces. The faces on the website, most of them are depiction of the local population, which is good, right? And it is good on surface, on the surface at least, right? However, when you look deeper into it, because this makes folks believe that you're equal and that you're equally partnering with others, and because you're sharing in the cooperation. However, the ones who really pull the strings, the ones who control the companies, these organizations, are basically um, the ones who control these organizations are not who you see on these websites, basically, right? That are being promoted. Okay. Yeah, there has been this major push to promote this idea of illusion of inclusion and this equality, and that everyone is on the same playground. But it is so far from the truth, because since after slavery, right, to now, right, I would go as far back, let's go to the 1930s also. There has not been much changes to the disparity when it comes to money, right? The folks who were controlling stuff back then are the same people who are controlling everything right now. And even though the local population may be doing better, the folks who are in charge are doing better as well. And many may argue that the wealth gap haven't closed any. Instead, it has expanded. Okay, and things are more crafty now, because like I said, um, the face of the local population are plastered all over the place. However, they are simply laborers. Okay, let's take a read of this, and this is one of the things I would say. I mean, is it a bad thing? I mean, it's good that the sister is promoted to a high level, but what this does, because of the inclusion, um, it takes away the drive for us wanting to have our own, and simply fall, and so we simply fall under other people's umbrella, and therefore we don't actually own anything. Okay, but I'm not taking away from Patricia Walters' success at all. Okay, but anyway, Patricia Walters created history when she had taken over the reins of cable and wireless C&W in St. Kitts and Nevis several years ago. Pat, as she is affectionately called, was the first female chief executive officer, CEO, of the traditional male dominated telecommunications giant in St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as the first female to be elevated to that position in the private sector of the Twin Island Federation. Okay, so again, that looks good, being plastered all over the news and so forth. Right, it looks good. Let's talk about the history, the story of this CNW. The history of our brand can be traced back to a number of British telegraph companies founded by Sir John Pender. I think there's a picture of him somewhere. I'll share it with you. So this is Sir John Pender in 1860s. In the 1860s. Okay. Today, the focus of our business is in the Caribbean and Latin America. We've operated in the region since the 1870s, always at the forefront of innovating infrastructure and services, from historic telegraph poles and cables to modern day super fast broadband, mobile, and TV services. Okay, so this company has been around for a very long time. During a time when things was not so good for the local people of the Caribbean and still functioning. So this really ties into one of my previous videos that says that the folks who were in charge then are the same folks who are in charge now. Not much has changed. And this is some of the timeline. And here's a guy right here. John Pender, a Manchester cotton merchant, joined the other businessmen as director of English and Irish Magnetic Telegraph Company. This company ran a telegraph cable service between London and Dublin. This was only 2 years after the first submarine cable between England and France had been laid. This was the beginning of Pender's submarine cable empire and cable and wireless. All right, so for Digicel, the founder is an Irishman, an Irish billionaire named Dennis O'Brien. Dennis O'Brien is an Irish billionaire businessman, the founder and owner of Digicel. He was listed among the world's top 200 billionaires in 2017 and was Ireland's richest native citizens for the period of several years. And I think is he still alive? I think he passed away at age 71. I'm not sure. But this is the guy right here, founder of Digicel, and his parents also was pretty wealthy. His father was a businessman, a daredevil, and his father passed away. May his father rest in peace, and passed away in 2016. All right, here's a little bit more about Dennis O'Brien. Founded Digicel in 2001 and has served as the company's chairman of the board since the company's inception. Digicel is a digital operator that, under Dennis' leadership, gained its first 100,000 customers in just 3 months. Within 5 years, Dennis helped Digicel expand to more than 16 Caribbean countries, serving more than 1.5 million customers with more than 1,500 employees. Today, the company provides a full range of telecommunication services, including mobile, television, internet, home internet, business solutions to 32 markets across the Caribbean and Central Central America, and Asia Pacific. Okay. So this is the founder of Digicel. All right. Let's move on to Azul Printer. Azul Printer is the founder, right? The gentleman right there. That's him right there. And these are other co-founders and members of the board. All right. Another platinum sponsor for your Caribbean festivity. So let's move on to Caribbean Galaxy. Zhang Kuan co-founded Caribbean Galaxy Real Estate in 2014 to take advantage of the growing North American tourism market. He is one of the first Chinese entrepreneurs to create real estate projects in the Caribbean. One of his major projects is the St. Kitts Ramada, which will cover 100 acres and will be the largest real estate project in the nation's history. In addition to the Caribbean Galaxy Real Estate, Zhang also founded the SCC Sports Car Club in 2009. He is an investor in EPGN Bulk Carrier Company Limited and Honji International Trade HK Corporation Limited, which he merged into Galaxy Group in order to make it even stronger. All right, so here is a guy that is running Caribbean Galaxy. All right, let's move on to the last one. We have Ports Ready Cash. And again, you see the faces that represents the company, which is good, right? And this organization conducts business throughout the Caribbean, all these different countries, and they loan money to small business owner, which is a good thing. Okay, but it is not a good thing that we continue to rely on this company. Okay, see what it says here. It says, "Ready Cash. Rest assured, you can rely on us for fast cash. Rest assured, you can rely on us for fast cash to get you out of a bind. Get an unsecured loan of up to $13,500. That's in Antigua, in Belize. How much they loan you in Belize? You get up to $10,000 in Belize. Okay? And that organization is also part of this group, connected in some way. Unicoma Group is a multinational retailing and consumer finance group headquartered in San Salvador, El Salvador, with regional offices in Miami, Trinidad, Jamaica, Costa Rica. It operates several chains of retail brands in the consumer durable sectors, specializing in furniture, audio, and video appliances, and electronics in Central America, the Caribbean, South America, and the United States. Company history. About the Courts, a dynamic brand under the Unicoma Group umbrella. Courts was first established in England in 1850. Founded in the region since 1959, Courts is the Caribbean's largest furniture appliance and electrical retailer. The company was acquired by Regal Forest Holdings under the Unicoma Group in December 2006. So there you go. Those were your platinum sponsors. As you can see, none of them are owned by the local people, not only in St. Kitts, but even throughout the Caribbean. These are all foreign investors, and many of these businesses and organization goes all the way back to a time when the Caribbean people were living in very dire situations. Okay, and and so there you have it. And this is why we must not be we must not be naive, pretending that everything is equal. It is not equal. You cannot be equal because you're started at a different starting point. You've been disenfranchised, and it is time for us to do a better job at coming together. Okay, if everything was fair, then we would have owned many of these major businesses. If everything was equal, I must say, we would have owned many of these businesses. So either we are slow or something is wrong with us, and like I said, the fact that many of these organizations um, they hire us and put us in um, key positions, and key probably is not even the appropriate word, but more so um, CEO positions, high positions, good paying jobs. Um, it kills our hunger, our will to want to produce for our own. But as adults, men in the community especially, we should want to do better. We should want better for our community. There's no reason why our children, our women, uh, everyone, our boys and girls um, have to go to others to find job when we should be creating a house for them. Okay, the man and the woman of the community, we should be working together to create these jobs, create these organizations. When you go to China, the Chinese people run most of the major organizations over there. When you go to just about any country, that is the case. But in just about every African country, whether on the continent and different places, there are outsiders who are running much of the big organizations. Okay, with very, very few exceptions. Anyway, with that said, again, have a wonderful holiday, and I look forward to creating more videos. I'm kind of new to this, so I'm still learning this technology thing. So bear with me a bit. Um, that way I could create, I'm working towards creating better quality videos and informative videos. I don't want to waste your time, right? So bear with me. I'm still trying to as long as we can as long as we can have an impact on a few people, we're not worrying about the entire population. It's not going to happen. It will never happen. Too many are too deeply invested. They are deep in bed and cannot focus on us as many of us could, you know. And take the younger um, it might take the younger generation to really kick it off, but it's up to us to really teach them